Hi, this is Matthew Cratter from Trader University, and today I want to talk about billionaires who are buying Bitcoin. We're talking about some of the richest and smartest people in the world and the rationale for why they're buying Bitcoin. If you're interested in learning investment strategies, trading strategies that actually work, how to profit from this financial crisis, or just want to see what I'm investing in and trading, be sure to hit that subscribe button. So as I'm recording this, Bitcoin is about to retake the $10,000 level. And it's very important for new viewers to realize that there are only 21 million Bitcoin in the world. That's all there will ever be. It's a very, very scarce asset. It may be the most scarce asset in the solar system or in the universe. And like scarce assets, it's something that billionaires and multimillionaires want to buy up. So if you think about the California coast, coastal real estate, beach houses, it's all been built up. There are a lot of environmental regulations now. It's impossible to build anything new on the beach. Everything has been bought. This is a very scarce asset, as is Hawaiian beach real estate. And Bitcoin is the same. But the difference now, this is like moving to LA in the 1930s. You can still buy some Bitcoin. And you're in very good company. We just learned yesterday that Paul Tudor Jones, who's very famous for shorting the stock market on Black Monday in the 1987 crash, he's worth $5 or $6 billion. And we just learned yesterday that he's been buying Bitcoin. He's actually buying the Bitcoin futures. He runs a macro fund, and he says he may have the low single digits in these futures. It makes sense for him to do it in futures. It's not something I would recommend for the regular retail investor. And by the way, none of this obviously is an investment recommendation. I'm long Bitcoin. I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to $1 or $2 million per Bitcoin from $10,000 Bitcoin right now. But what Paul Tudor Jones has done is he's really removed a lot of the career risk from investing in Bitcoin. He's one of the Wall Street hedge fund greats, and now he's sort of laid the groundwork for other people to be able to invest, especially institutional investors, to be able to invest in Bitcoin. And if worse comes to worse, you can always say, well, Paul Tudor Jones was doing it. People should not underestimate the extent to which investment managers, hedge fund managers, behave a little bit like sheep. So he's a real pioneer here. What does he like about Bitcoin? Well, he talks about inflation. He's talking about a lot of the same things that we've been talking about, the Fed pumping up their balance sheet. But he talks about this is the best hedge there is out here. The best profit maximizing strategy is to own the fastest horse. He thinks we're going to see a return to huge inflation as we saw in the 70s. And he said that he thinks the fastest horse right now is Bitcoin. Now, some of his other quotes were quite interesting. We were talking about the scarcity of Bitcoin as compared to the scarcity of coastal real estate. On Bitcoin's scarcity premium, it is literally the only large tradable asset in the world that has a known fixed maximum supply. It's the only store of value. We've talked a lot about Bitcoin as a store of value, how money, hard money functions as a store of value, how scarce assets function as a store of value. It's the only store of value that actually trades 24/7 in the entire world. The most compelling argument for owning Bitcoin, these are all Paul Tudor Jones quotes, the most compelling argument for owning Bitcoin is the coming digitalization of currency everywhere, accelerated by COVID-19. Finally, a great store of value can be seamlessly moved from one jurisdiction to another with little or no transaction costs. Cash is obviously good for that. Gold is okay but clunky, but of course nothing beats Bitcoin, which can be stored on a smartphone. Finally, owning Bitcoin is a great way to defend oneself against the great monetary inflation. So he is, if in case you don't know what quantitative easing is, it's just when a central bank prints a lot of money and buys things with it. This is what the Federal Reserve, the U.S. Central Bank's been doing. They've been printing a lot of new money out of nothing, ex nihilo, and they've been buying treasuries, munis, even junk bonds. This is the Fed's balance sheet. These are the assets on their balance sheet, and you can see over the last quarter especially, we've moved from about $4 trillion in assets to $6.6 trillion in assets. So what happens when a central bank prints a lot of money? It devalues the currency, and as a result, scarce assets go up in price. And by scarce assets, I would refer to obviously Bitcoin, gold, high value really good location, real estate, for example, in places like the coasts of Hawaii and coast of California, as we've spoken about. So Paul Tudor Jones would be the first billionaire who's buying Bitcoin that we can talk about. Another really noteworthy one, obviously, is Jack Dorsey, net worth close to $4 billion. And a couple weeks ago, he changed his Twitter summary, Twitter profile, to just have Bitcoin in it, which is quite fascinating. This suggests that he does own some or own quite a bit. Very smart guy, very forward-thinking, and definitely a visionary. So Paul Tudor Jones, Jack Dorsey, and finally we moved to Chamath Palihapitiya. I'm probably mispronouncing his name. This is he was an early employee at Facebook. Very smart venture capitalist. He agrees with me that Bitcoin could go to $1 million or above. You can check out my other videos. I know it sounds like a crazy price target, but he was an early buyer of Bitcoin, and he has it stashed away. I remember hearing it in an interview with him. So another billionaire who owns Bitcoin. Michael Novogratz, hedge fund manager and investor who's been very bullish on Bitcoin for a long time. Also another Bitcoin billionaire. Peter Thiel, my old boss and friend. I can't really disclose whether he owns Bitcoin right now or not. I haven't spoken with him about it. But the Founders Fund, which is his VC company, at least as of a few years ago, had a big position in Bitcoin. Bitcoin really does fit into with Peter's libertarian ideology. Peter Thiel, if you don't know who he is, he was the first investor in Facebook and co-founder of PayPal. And one of the reasons he co-founded PayPal was to try to come up with a new world currency. So obviously Bitcoin and the idea of it becoming the new world reserve currency is something that would make him very interested in it. Speaking of Facebook, the Winklevoss twins, they took their Facebook settlement money that was paid to them by Mark Zuckerberg and put a chunk of it in Bitcoin, and they're now Bitcoin billionaires. Again, very forward-thinking billionaires, fairly young, and quite smart about these things. So those are the main billionaires that I could come up with. I'm sure there are more. There's some billionaires who have started startups around, like for example, Brian Armstrong of Coinbase is presumably a billionaire, but I didn't include him. He's not really a Bitcoin maximalist. So now I thought I'd conclude by talking a little bit about the Bitcoin Billionaire Hall of Shame. In this, I would include Mark Cuban, who used to be very smart and forward-thinking when it came to technology, but recently he said that he'd rather own bananas than Bitcoin. It's a very good quote. I'm not sure bananas are the best store value. Warren Buffett obviously is called Bitcoin rat poison squared. Old man yells at Bitcoin. I thought this was a great meme. Bitcoin is rat poison, and there are all these rats with the names of the major investment banks and banks, U.S. banks that Buffett has invested in a lot of them, particularly Goldman Sachs here and Wells Fargo. Good reminder, when you hear Buffett talk about tech, he's always been late to the party, and he's not really someone you want to trust when it comes to tech. Doesn't even have a computer inside his office, just got a smartphone, got an iPhone recently. Jamie Dimon would be another anti-Bitcoin guy, obviously chairman and CEO of JP Morgan, and he's called Bitcoin a fraud. It makes sense that these people like Buffett and Jamie Dimon are against Bitcoin because they've made their money from the current fiat system, the current corrupt system. And when if you want to Google fraud, the first thing that's really going to come up is the U.S. banks, JP Morgan gaming the precious metals market, JP Morgan being fined for trying to rig the benchmark rate, list of all the JP Morgan fines to date, and so that's you have to take these with a grain of salt. People like Mark Cuban, Warren Buffett, and Jamie Dimon. Finally, I thought this was fun. A couple Trump memes. Bitcoin is going to be huge. Bitcoin is coming up bigly. Donald Trump accepts Bitcoin as the new USA currency. Very unlikely, especially given his his quote. So he'd be another billionaire I'd put in the Hall of Shame. I'm not a fan of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which are not money and whose value is highly volatile and based on thin air. And then he uses the old canard that it's Bitcoin's used for trading by drug dealers and for other illegal activity. Whereas in fact we all know that U.S. dollars are the main currency used by terrorists and drug dealers, especially U.S. cash, U.S. $100 bills. This is where the real illegal activity takes place. It makes sense because the U.S. dollar is still the world reserve currency. But whenever you hear people saying that Bitcoin is just used to buy and sell drugs, you know that they don't know what they're talking about. Now, it makes sense. Trump would be against this. Again, he's someone who's really benefited from the fiat system. And as the president of the United States, it would be really weird if he started endorsing an alternate form of currency. So that'd be my summary of Bitcoin, of billionaires who really like Bitcoin. And the people who really like it tend to be a little bit younger. I would say that Paul Tudor Jones is the one exception. He's been around for a while. But people like Jack Dorsey and Chamath and Peter Thiel, obviously much younger than the Warren Buffetts of the world. So I wanted to give you a balanced presentation here of billionaires who like Bitcoin, billionaires who dislike Bitcoin, so you can make up your own mind. I own a lot of Bitcoin. I think it's going to a few $1 million per Bitcoin, as I mentioned. And so I think it's definitely something, especially if you're under the age of 40, you should read about, you should check out, and you should be educated about. I'm going to stick a couple links to my other Bitcoin videos if you want to learn more in the description notes below. Please hit the subscribe and like button if you found this video helpful. And let me know your questions and comments in the section below. And thanks a lot for watching. Hope you're all staying well, and I'll see you in the next video.